The transfer portal is a buzz right now. Remember our close friend, the transfer portal? Well, it's filling up. Remember, we got one portal window now, and it technically opens when, Jesse? The 2nd or 3rd of January, but you can kind of express your intent to go in the portal, and several guys have taken the opportunity to do just that. So this thing looks like it's going to go off the rails a little bit. There are several high-level names in it already, and it looks to just be starting. So at the quarterback position alone, if you go look at the On3 rankings right now, and it's starting to fill up a little bit. So, you know, whoever the number one player in the portal is right now could be number 3 tomorrow. Number one player in the portal right now is Sam Leavitt, though. One of many quarterbacks who have entered the portal. That's Arizona State's quarterback. Looking at NACOS's hot board and just reading some of the articles that they've put out there, Oregon, Miami, Indiana, LSU, and you're going to hear the same schools mentioned a lot because if you're in the market for a quarterback, you know, you're probably not pushing all your chips to the middle for one guy. You're probably in it for several guys. It's no different than recruiting. But Sam Leavitt's the number 1 overall player and quarterback in the portal. That's via On3 as of today. All right, the number 2 player, Dylan Raiola, Nebraska, in the portal. This came as a shock to many. Not Will Compton, but it came as a shock to many. Louisville has been mentioned here, and it's kind of been reported, it's kind of been whispered that Raiola reached out to Oregon. Now, I gotta tell you, I know everyone loves when I do this. Dylan Raiola in the portal was not like this closely guarded secret. It was kind of speculated in the industry it was going to happen. I don't really get caught up all that much in the portal, so I didn't do a whole lot of digging on it. I said, okay, maybe it happens, because you hear portal rumors all the time. So I just said, all right, I'll believe it when I see it. Okay, well, it happened, so now I believe it. But the funny thing is, you had heard Oregon whispered about, to the point where, like, I asked some people, and they were like, I guess it could happen, which is code for, oh, wow, I hadn't heard that yet. Let me text someone after we get done talking. So Oregon may be in the mix here. It looks like Texas Tech will not be in the mix, so do whatever you want to with that. The number 3 player in the portal, the number 3 quarterback in the portal, is Brennan Sorsby out of Cincinnati. I guess I should say of Cincinnati. Not a ton of info on him quite yet. I think that's kind of early in the process. Also, you could technically have the NFL be an option for him. So a little different ball game than these other guys. But I think the big story item was DJ Lagway at Florida announcing his intention to enter the portal. I'm told someone had him as their number 1 quarterback in the SEC in their preseason quarterback power rankings. And it's not important who that person was. It's just important that that information is out there. Again, we're not about casting blame on this show. We're not about that at all. We don't throw people under the bus. We don't do that. So whoever that was that had Lagway as their number 1 preseason quarterback in the SEC, I'm sure their heart was in the right place. They sound like an okay guy. If it was a guy, we don't know. We can't possibly know. And it sounds like they had the best of intentions. It sounds like they were working on some pretty good knowledge, and then coaches and players screwed it up. That's what it sounds like. So anyway, we arrive here, and DJ Lagway's in the portal. Hey, guys, do me one favor. Check and see if you're subscribed to the channel. If you are, great. If you're not, it's that easy. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't sign you up for anything. It just helps us do the show this way forever. All right, back to the clip. And reading between the lines, actually, you don't have to read between the lines. It's been pretty widely reported that this was kind of John Summerall and his staff meeting with DJ Lagway, and that meeting sounds like it did not go well. And that meeting sounds like it included a lot of that coaching staff challenging his mental makeup, his competitiveness, his disposition towards football, and it just really, it did not provide either party with the warm fuzzies. And they left realizing, yeah, he's probably not going to be our quarterback this year. And DJ Lagway left realizing, yeah, I'm probably not going to fit here anymore. And so now he's in the portal. Baylor has been mentioned. Miami's been mentioned. LSU, Louisville. Again, we're still very early in the process. So those are the quarterbacks. That quarterback picture is only going to deepen. There is good wide receiver talent. There's good running back talent. Again, I cannot stress enough, it's December 16th. So we've only just begun, as Karen Carpenter would say. Big fan of the portal. Karen Carpenter. Nick Marsh is a player that I'm circling. Now, that's me personally. I don't have my own portal rankings, but I'm circling the name Nick Marsh out of Michigan State, I would be targeting him. Pate State is set at wide receiver, but if we were not, I would be targeting him. Perry Thompson and Malcolm Simmons at Auburn have also entered the portal. C.J. Baxter at Texas, intending to jump in the portal as well. So there are going to be a lot of big-time names, a lot of game-changer types. Think about what think about what Texas A&M did with Concepcion and Craver and just the immediate, season-altering impact those guys have had. We could very well be looking at that possibly. Just go get one of them, much less two of them. Offensive linemen, everyone's after them. Everyone's after big bodies on the line of scrimmage, period. And I was talking with some coaches this past weekend, and I've talked with some non-coaching types this week, and I've got one of those ideas that's really easy to say. It's much harder to execute. But if you watch college football, and you've watched it for a long time, you don't have to be a former O-line coach or having played offensive line at some point in your career to know offensive line play seems to have regressed across the board. So there's not really much dominant offensive line play. And one of the easiest go-to theories on why is, well, it takes chemistry, it takes cohesion, it takes a lot of reps together, and with how much churn there is in the sport, you just don't really see that as much. So you got a lot of pieces, but you don't have as many full units that have played together multiple years. So I'm thinking about that within the framework of the portal. And again, I want to warn everyone, what I'm going to say is easy to say. I know it's much harder to execute. But if I were in the G5 ranks or even the FCS ranks at the higher level, and I were a group, a center guard combo or maybe even a center guard tackle combo or a guard tackle combo, and I was in any kind of demand at all, I'd look to my dude on the left or my dude on the right or both of them, and I'd lock pinkies with those guys and say, hey, we in isolation are valuable commodities because we're offensive linemen who can be plug-and-play starters. But we together are borderline priceless because we are chunks of an offensive line unit. And we are bringing more than just our individual talent. We're bringing cohesion. And I would go full package deal. And if I were at the G5 level and I would do that, I would look at the P4 level and I would just look them dead in the eye and say, you guys really want to go overspend on wide receiver talent and not have your quarterback have any time to throw the ball? You want to go really overspend on running back talent and have no one to pave the way? You want to rely on slide protection all year? Or you want some folks who speak the same language? Yeah, we may have been doing it at the FCS level, but your guys aren't doing it at the Power 4 level. So maybe those of us who have done it together before can do it up there as well. As I said, it took 2 minutes. It was so easy to say. So my advice to all the player personnel departments out there, recruit offensive line in blocks. That's it. That's all.